Hello, everyone, and welcome today. I am Dr. LaDonna McAbee, your networking expert, and I have a coffee expert in the house with me today, Grace Barkwell. How are you today, Grace?
Oh, I'm doing great today.
Yay, I'm so glad to have you on. I love the coffee and all the benefits to it, and not just the coffee taste. That is important, of course, but the quality of the coffee and the mushrooms in the coffee is what makes it so healthy. So, Grace, tell me a little bit about you and why you started the coffee business.
Well, I started it because my friend reintroduced me to it. And she did so at a time when I was just getting over shingles. And I was still not feeling 100%, but her and her friend told me that there was a doctor coming up all the way from Texas to Ontario. And and I said, "Oh, I still feel tired." And they said, "We'll drive you. You don't have to drive yourself. We'll drive you." And I said, "Okay." So I went. And and his presentation was so amazing with all these slides he had before and after. And there was one lady who's was diabetic, and her toes were starting to turn black, and some of them were black. And she went on this coffee and also the spore capsules, because the coffee has reishi mushroom in it, and the king coffee, which I recommend the most, also have the spores in it. And there are also spore capsules that you can take separately. And this works so well for her that in the after picture her toes, well, the black ones, they were dead, so they fell off. But the ones that were kind of brownish, and they healed up and they were white again. And it was absolutely fantastic the way that this works. And of course, she took 2 capsules every waking hour for this to happen, because she wanted as much of the spores in her body as possible to fight this, because the doctors had told her that next week they're going to have to amputate her feet, and she didn't want her feet to be amputated. So after taking this protocol, she did not have to have her feet amputated. So that was so exciting for her. And there were other stories, many other stories, that he presented before us and told us how and why the reishi mushroom in these coffees work. And we also have tea that have the cordyceps mushrooms in them as well. And we have one coffee, which is above my head, that is so popular, they ran out and they have to make more. And so we have back orders for that coffee. And we just love it because it has 3 mushrooms in it, and they're all very helpful. But right now we'll concentrate on the king coffee because it has the spores in it. And it is a black coffee. So the great thing about that is you can drink it black. You can add your cream or a sweetener. You can even add whipped cream. You can do anything you want. You can add sprinkles of cinnamon. That's what I do. I add cinnamon to it, and it has this great taste. And with cinnamon, there are no calories. So it's a wonderful addition. Well, let me tell you about the reishi mushroom, which was once reserved for emperors of China. And if someone was caught picking those reishi mushrooms and using it for their relatives or themselves who was sick, they got their hand cut off first. And then if they were caught again, they got their head cut off. So this is a fantastic mushroom. And what it does is it supports and builds your immune system. It manages cholesterol and blood sugar, as we saw in this lady whose blood sugar was managed and her toes came back. The ones that were brownish were still partially alive. They came back, and it enhances the immunity system, so you get fewer colds and flus. So that's a wonderful thing. And it improves your blood circulation. It balances the pH level of the body. It promotes natural detoxification. It improves mental focus and your mood. And it has pain management. It manages the pain that's in your body. We can't say it cures anything, but the pain, it manages the pain. And if you drink it black and don't add, and maybe just add cinnamon, you can use it as a weight loss beverage. And you can drink up to 5 cups a day and there'll be no jitters. And it improves your sleep quality, and it is good for organ detoxification. All these wonderful things that it does, besides just being your morning beverage and waking you up, which it does, because when I got up in the morning, I'm like, oh, 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 this is the day that the Lord hath made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. And then I have my coffee and I feel awake. And so this is all very important things, so we can get on with our day in a better mood, with more focus. And I rejoice in the Lord who has made heaven and earth, because I know that he will control my day.
That is awesome, Grace. And what a way to start your morning. Prayer, thanking God for being here in another day, and then a big old cup of coffee that can make you feel better, take away pain and brain fog. And that is awesome. I love how
Yes.
you explained the much.
Yes. And the process that this is made, they check all the coffee beans to make sure that there is no mold, because a lot of coffee that you buy could have mold in it. And the people who grow this coffee, they're not allowed to have pesticides on their coffee. And so we know that there's no pesticides, it's organic. And also on the box, there is a QR code, and you can go to that QR code and you can see the exact place where this coffee is grown. And you can even tip the growers of this coffee. And when they're tipped, they are amazed, because no other company tips the actual growers. And then, of course, they will brag to their neighbors, I got this much tip from the people who drink my coffee. And their neighbors are like, what? And they say, how can I get this tip too? And their neighbors say, well, you have to grow your coffee without pesticides, and I'll put you in touch with this company. And this helps the whole coffee business, because when there's no pesticides around anywhere, then it's just wonderful. It's all natural, organic.
Awesome.
And also what we do with our little sachets, which you can see up top there, all those little sachets, we cut them at the bottom because the company's logo is at the top. And what we do is we save those sachets and give them back to the company, and then the company gives them to ladies in countries where their economy is not so great and where they are struggling financially. And these ladies make bags and purses from them, and then they send them back to the company, and they get auctioned off to us who are making money. And then that money goes back to these ladies who make these purses so that they can create an income for their families. So that's what we do. That is our charity, to help these women to raise their families.
What a gift. Imagine if you received a gift from all of these packages that's a handbag or a grocery bag of some sort. That would be pretty. And I really love that. I love that. Now, Grace, where is the coffee grown at? Is it grown in the US, Canada?
No, it's grown in South American countries, different South American countries, or Central America. And so the farmers,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
so they're quite excited about getting the tips.
Now,
And
I'm in the US, Grace is in Canada, and thankfully, we have Zoom, we have podcasts, we have all of these things that will connect us to one another. So, Grace, where is this coffee? Where can you sell it at? I know you can sell to the US, you can sell in Canada. How many other countries?
35 other countries. Yeah,
Awesome.
we have a big group in Mexico because we have an associate here. Actually, she lives in Toronto and she speaks perfect English and perfect Spanish. And so she has gotten to know some people in Mexico and even some other countries in Central and South America, and she has business there. Now, there are other countries, there's countries in Africa, and there's countries in Europe and England, of course, all over Britain. I know of a young man in Ireland, which is separate from Great Britain. And
you can get your coffee just about anywhere and everywhere. I know there are some countries out there you can't serve, but the majority of the countries you can. So reach out to Grace, reach out to me. We will get you hooked up with the greatest coffee. Grace was telling me earlier that she even sells her coffee through a restaurant, and the restaurant gets great revenue from serving the coffee. Now, how amazing is that when you can go into a coffee shop or a cafe, restaurant, and drink a cup of coffee that's good for you? It's not just brewed quickly and thrown at you, it's truly unique, healthy coffee and affordable, healthy coffee. That's something else we need to throw in there at a time like we are having today. Affordable. What else, Grace, before we go?
yes, if someone wants to promote the coffee and make money, yes, they can go to various privately owned restaurants and talk to the owner there and tell them of all the benefits for their customers. And also, we have a script specifically for doctors who like natural products like naturopaths and chiropractors and all that, because our doctor who came from Texas, he is a chiropractor and a kinesiologist. So he has written a script that chiropractors, doctors, naturopaths will see the benefits of this coffee for their customers. And so this is what we could do. And restaurants, I mean, the restaurant that the lady who owns, she's right across from a popular coffee company. And yet people will go to her not only for the price, but for the health benefits of this coffee that does not give them the jitters. It does not have mold or pesticides in it. And they go to her instead of going to this popular coffee cafe.
Right, right. That's awesome. Thank you so very much for being here, Grace. And I know that I will see you again very soon. Have a beautiful rest of your day. And bye.